What's going on, boys and girls? Today we have a Game of Spades fragrance that is going after one of your favorite fragrances out there in kind of entry-level niche fragcom, Greenwich Village. So I heard a lot of people talking noise about this one. Strap up. We got to put this under the microscope. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Today from the house of Game of Spades, we have Win. Parfum concentration, unisex fragrance. However, surprisingly though, Game of Spades via Fragrantica markets this as a women's fragrance. Maybe they didn't get the memo. I'm pretty sure Greenwich Village is a unisex fragrance, but Win is marketed as a floral, fruity gourmand for women. So launched in 2025. It actually is on Fragrantica, so we'll be able to dive into that today. Only 40 votes, but 4.41 out of 5. And I've heard a lot of you guys, a lot of the crickets chirping out there in Fragcom, really like this one. Really like this one. So let's see. I want to ask ChatGPT some questions real quick about the brand so we could further inform ourselves about this brand as we examine their very high-priced clones that retail at $220 for 100 mil, 120-ish bucks for the 30 mil, and discounters are south of 100 bucks, but still the audacity of that level of retail. Let's just ask some questions. Hey, so there is a brand, Jo Milano Paris, and they have a line of fragrances called Game of Spades. Can you give me a brief on who Jo Milano Paris is as a brand, what they sell, what they do, and when they got into fragrance and what their goal is with their Game of Spades line of fragrances?
Jo Milano Paris is a relatively modern fragrance house. They're known for creating bold, luxurious scents, often inspired by elegance and modern lifestyles. They primarily focus on eau de parfums and luxury perfumes, often emphasizing intense, long-lasting compositions. They started gaining recognition in the fragrance world within the past decade or so, part of a wave of niche and designer brands that aim to offer something distinct. As for the Game of Spades line, it's a collection built around themes of power, sophistication, and a bit of risk. Like a high-stakes card game, the goal is to evoke confidence and luxury in each scent, appealing to people who want to make a statement. In essence, it's about embodying that sense of high-end allure with a touch of bold intrigue.
Interesting.
I'm glad that was helpful. If you ever
Whoa, hold on. Don't interrupt me in front of my guests here. I am running a show. I wanted to ask you something. So a lot of people consider this a clone house, as a lot of the Game of Spades line is inspirations of fragrances that are already out. What can you tell me about that?
Got it. So when people say a brand is a clone house, they're usually referring to one that takes heavy inspiration from existing, often iconic fragrances and tries to offer something similar, sometimes at a more accessible price point. With the Game of Spades line, yes, you'll hear fragrance enthusiasts say they're inspired by well-known luxury scents. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. Some love having that familiar profile at a different price point or twist, while others might be more critical, wishing for more uniqueness. In any case, these lines often aim to capture the essence of beloved scents, making certain styles more widely available.
Okay. Easy enough. Have a good day. Okay, let's get an initial impression now that we know a little bit about this brand, and we will get it cracking. 2 sprays on the arm. Again, this is going after Greenwich Village. I haven't smelled Greenwich in a minute, probably now maybe like a year. Smelled renditions of it. I have a rendition of it by a friend of mine who made one for me. I'm pretty familiar with Greenwich. Like over the years, I've smelled it multiple times. So I'm not going to speak too much to the accuracy, more of the quality. Floral, fruity gourmand. I don't know about gourmand. I mean, since fruit is edible, does that make this gourmand? Not really to me. The brand is aiming for kind of this card game, bold, luxury feel or whatever. I don't get the sense of luxury at all so far from this brand. I just get the sense of fun smells. These are cool. This is like the equivalent of when Axe body spray came out and they just had cool sounding names and smells that weren't realistic at all or deep or complex. But wow, I could get sour apple deodorant. Wow, I could get raspberry rage. Oh, I want to try cotton candy, crimson, or, just like random stuff. This has a very teeny bopness to it. Like, I don't feel like as a man 25 and up, like if women smelled this on you, they would feel like they're dealing with a high-end man. This is like very cool dude energy. Yeah, I mean, this is just, let me smell it on my skin. Now, this does ring off skin. Yeah, screw the test strips. These are parfum concentrations. It does ring off skin a lot better on this version, actually. Win is definitely ringing off skin. Not crazy, but substantially more than All In, which was a white floral, and the Blue Talisman, which is traditionally a quieter fragrance, so I'm not mad at that. Yeah, it's just kind of like this candied white, pink, yellow floral type of, slightly sweet water, sweet, not rose petal water, but like a sweet exotic floral water. Yeah, that's really all I get. Like, I imagine just a ton of flowers soaked in water with some sugar added to it. Let's see what it says here in the note breakdown so we can, now that we actually have a fragrantica for it. Lychee, orange, cassis, water lily, peony. See, like this smells like just the heart. A very musky ambroxan, water lily, peony, jasmine. I don't get a ton of oakmoss. I don't really get praline. Lychee, I don't really get. It's light orangey, but I think orange is just an illusion of carry. It's mainly peony and lily of the valley that we're smelling, or jasmine. It's not very green. I remember Greenwich to have a little bit more like nature texture to it and a lot more like dimension and body. Even though it's a very fun scent, it had this richness that almost felt like you could touch the scent a little bit. This feels very much like lily peony water with a lot of musk. Again, you just kind of smell like it's like, for my men out there, and this is going to sound crazy because I have some friends that like really swear by this fragrance, so I'm not trying to insult, I'm just like speaking my piece. But like, this smells like the guy who like graduated college but like still goes to college parties, and he's not in school anymore, so he's kind of like the new guy, or he's like supposed to have it all together and be moving on with his life and has his own apartment now and can pay his own bills, but he still goes to the college party and picks up all the teeny bop chicks and they get with him just because he's older. This is the scent that guy would wear. It's just really watered down to me. I'm actually, it's crazy, guys. Let's switch screens for half a second. I'm really actually surprised by the Game of Spades line. Like, I really thought they'd be coming with more heat than this. Like, in terms of the quality. Like, is it a quality clone? They just don't punch, man. Like, so far, I'm not getting like punch. I'm getting like this very like soft, skin scenty, like under 2 feet projection, light diffusive, good smelly air. Like, they could take all of the scents I've smelled so far, put them in hotel shampoos, and scent the towels and put them in car fresheners and stuff like that. And it would be dope. It'd be hip and fun and cool. As a fragrance, I think y'all are just going to have to call me an old head here. I'm going to be real with you. I think you guys are just going to have to call me an old head because so far I'm not getting the hype like at all. Like there's a bajillion clones that are trying to go after the same fragrances as these and do a better job. Now, these are all parfums, so they're supposed to be a little bit richer and deeper and not as like popping off. But even just like the smell quality, like it's a good smell, but it's extremely flat and linear. I don't know. I thought you guys paying a lot more money for these clones. I felt like you guys wouldn't do that unless these were like really blowing out the clone game. You know, it almost feels like crazy blasphemy that they've got this much hype. But the one thing I will say so far is like they're very balanced scents, but almost to a default because there's not a lot to be balanced. Like I can't make out a ton of different notes that I would imagine would be tough to dial in. That they are all smooth smells. There's nothing harsh. So from that standpoint in the clone game, you know, sometimes you're just happy to get a scent that doesn't have some synthetic note that just bothers you or chokes you out or some screeching scent. Like these are all very soft on the nose. But the smell depth, and I'm not talking like complexity. I'm talking about just like the difference between smelling a strawberry scented car freshener versus actually eating a strawberry, like the difference in quality, synthetic to quality. Like these are good smells. They're not that rich. I'm not even looking for like complementing accents or whatever, like just for what it is, like water lily and peony, a little bit of lychee. That's what I smell. Lots of musk, lots of ambroxan. But even within that, it's not that musky. It's not that peony. It's not that lily. You know what I mean? It's not very much of anything, but it's more robust than the last two. So I feel like Black Sapphire so far was the worst out of these three. All In feels the more close unisex, feminine leaning. It's really nice. This is a little bit more teeny boppish, so I think the men would be drawn to this a little bit more because it's a little bit like fake candy greener, but really it's just like peony and water lily. So really the women should love this too. Yeah, women will love this. This is just peony white floral. But yeah, I'm just what do I rate this? I think, you know, again, this is another fragrance. You don't count the sprays. You go north of 10. I think it's feminine leaning, ageless. It's more teeny boppish, so I would say under 25. Performance, I think you'd be lucky to get 4 to 6 hours unless you went God mode on yourself and just nuked yourself with sprays. Sprays, I'm going 10 plus. The price is $220 for 100 mil, 120 for 30 mil. I do think for Greenwich, there's plenty of other alternatives out there, but this is soft on the nose, and I do think it's a true kind of parfum. It's just not that rich. Alternatives to Greenwich. I don't have any at this moment. Somebody sound off in the comment section below with some of your more popular Greenwich renditions. I think I'm just a little bit brain dead after that, after smelling this fragrance. As a score, 7. Another 7. Again, this was Game of Spades Win Parfum. And yeah, I mean, it's just super average. Super average for me. I wouldn't even... So far, nothing's really shaken me at all. But you guys let me know. Am I bugging? Do y'all really love this stuff? Don't be ashamed at all. You know, I'm not the Lord of Fragrance. My nose doesn't dictate anything. You know, I'm just one person on my own journey. I want to know where you're at with your journey. Are you guys gravitating towards this stuff? Definitely get your nose on it and wear it because for all the hype that's going on, I don't quite understand it yet. Maybe as we develop into some of these other scents, some will stick out. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Get a conversation going. Again, like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join the Discord group, and I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week. And until next time, peace.